This is titled Coyote Dance. We had faced every kind of occurrence one could expect to try and break up this gathering. The coyote priest had done his best to disrupt the energy. But something had occurred that Coyote was not anticipating. Spirit had come, and the grandmothers had made their declaration. The old ones had shown their faces and embraced the gathering of the people. Grandfather had come and spoke to the people. We had crossed over the line. Sometimes the spirit of a person can, with pure intent on their part, lead them through a maze of obstacles so that they may stand in the clarity of the light. The intent of the people has become clear. Some had come for spirit. Some had come for themselves. There were two camps now, divided. One from up on the top, Mesa, and one, seeing this, could observe that. One could easily see the intent of the beings by their body language. For the tonal of a being or a people is obvious when viewed from the place of objectivity. The storms, the strange weather, floods, high winds, I saw everything through the shaman's eye. We could not please everyone. Like grandmother said, some things just are. The events of the previous night were clear to me. Old man Coyote had revealed the tricksters, and the last energy from the dark had been released. Now there had to be a clearing. The initiation was close to its ending. The people had to make their own choices. They had to reveal their intent to spirit and circle, and I had to offer the tricksters an honorable way out. I came down off the mesa and was headed for camp. Coyote Dancer must have seen me coming, for he was there. We met in the field under the full light of the sun. I looked into his eyes, and he into mine. But there was no conflict there, just two souls touching each other. He could not hold the stare, and it was time for me to offer him the chance to choose an honorable way out. "Aho, my friend. You had a rough night," I said. "Good morning," he hesitated, looking down at the ground, stumbling for the next word. "I think it would be best if you would go," I told him, trying not to put the tone of challenge in my voice. "If one does not feel good about being a part of this ceremony, then it is best that they honor that feeling and go. There are no bad feelings here towards you. Go with our grace and our love." We ran out of songs, like I told you, and "Say no more," he said. "Your job here is complete, but look deeply into your own heart, for what you will send will come back to you tenfold, for each person you sent it to. You and I both know the rules of the game. This was Spirit's game. The people were as children. They needed your guidance, not your judgment. But like children, they hold no malice. Go in peace," I told him. "We meant no harm. I have the ways that I know. I tried to honor everyone," he offered. "But did you hear the words of the grandmothers? No agendas. Come to the arbor with no agendas, and Makakan will guide you through each step. We are supposed to be here for the mother, not our own desires. Tonight, I will lead the people in the dance," I stated. "I wish you well, then, my brother. Let there be not bad feelings between us. Perhaps we can work together again," he responded. "We will both see what Spirit has to offer us. These are strange times we are walking into, and it is the unknown. And there is much to learn before one accepts the role of leading the people. This I have learned here. I thank you for that opportunity. I extended my hand. He accepted, and we shook. By the way, stop by my camp and I will give you something so you get back home. But it would be best if you leave soon. There is no point in dragging it out. We both know who we are. We looked into each other's eyes one last time. There was no veil between us. Coyote had his out, and I had to gather the people so that they could come together. I sent people over to Coyote's camp to gather our food, stuffs, and to prepare a new kitchen in the Rainbow Teepee. It would prove to be a good place for the new kitchen. I walked towards some of those gathered nearby in the field, those who were watching the meeting between Coyote and myself. Get some help. Our friends will be leaving. Those that choose to go with them should go now. Also, we need to set up a new kitchen. Tell those who are staying we will gather in 2 hours for circle. I felt my body jerk as I was walking away. Always a sign to me that Spirit was saying, pay attention to what is going on. Or an affirmation that was going on, which was in truth. It wasn't over yet, and I knew that. I still had to meet one more time with Coyote at my camp. Now that the split was made clear and placed out in the sunlight, there would be waves of energy resulting. I was about as sacred as I had ever been. For now, I had also made my choices. I had accepted leadership of this ghost dance. It was in my hands now. That was a lot of responsibility. I walked over to my camp. The kids were playing down by the river. They were having a ball playing in the creek, oblivious to the goings-on of the adults. It gave me a much-needed light thought frequency. I got myself a cup of coffee and noticed some of the women walking towards me. It was one of those moments when you know it is time to light up an American spirit. Slowly, they approached me by the fire as I sat down on a stump. "Good morning, ladies," I greeted. They all responded, greeting me in unison. Owl Dreamer spoke to me. "We have seen and honor what you did, but perhaps we should let them know we have no bad feelings. It is just that we could not accept their decrees. Everything about what they said was fear-based. We have all come here following our heart path. We have seen everyone gather and talk around the campfire. We all spoke of how everyone that was here had experiences with ghost dances in the past. How many of us were on our way when we met our end at Wounded Knee with Chief Bigfoot. The rules were uncalled for, and the delivery was one filled with fear-based declarations. There were a few seconds where the space between her delivery and the next spoken word was as big as the Montana sky, a space where you could hear the next word and reach others' faces without speaking. The next word was obviously mine. I support whatever you all decided, and I feel compassion for your reasons for your choices. Understand, though, that each action we choose will have its reaction. We cannot think about our decision now. We have to move forward with love. Spirit is running the show and weeding about our decision now. I think right now we have to pull this camp together and pull it together fast. We have to go to ceremony soon, and the children have to eat. This is obviously how this event is supposed to unfold. So be it. Grandfather Warren spoke out. I have something to say. I suppose why I am here in this circle is because I have awakened to my feminine side and find that I continue to embrace it every single day. Last night I stood and watched as we danced. While I watched, the masters gathered. While we were dancing under the stars, I saw the grandmothers and grandfathers standing and dancing amongst us. Then I saw them stand back, and watch as we stopped our ceremony and gave into the fear of one person. I saw them throw their hands up and wonder what had happened. After we had put out such energy that we had pierced the heavens, they watched in amazement as we just walked away. They wondered why we could not realize who and what we were. We came here to dance. Tonight we have a chance to follow our hearts and spirit without remorse or ridicule. We should do so. Tears filled his eyes as he was shaking. His emotions overflowed into everyone present, and we all found our eyes watering. Grandfather Warren got up from the log he was perched upon and walked towards the arbor. There was little left to say. Grandmother had entered the hearts of everyone. It was one of those moments in a circle where everyone looks around and acknowledges one another, and there is simply too much going on for verbal communication. The kids all helped, and we reestablished the kitchen, and with a precise quickness and ease, the camp shifted into its adjusted mode and embraced the new reality. It was like after a sudden rainstorm in the summer that disperses the heat and stale air as the sunlight breaks out, and all of life seems refreshed and new. In summation, to make this long story short, we did the ghost dance for 2 nights. For some, there it was, the completion of a long journey through dreams and lifetimes. For others, it was a reawakening to the reality that indeed they had come from the last ghost dance to be awakened in this time. At a future date, I will publish a book that tells the story of this ghost dance in detail, from both my perspective and that of the people, along with their letters. It is, after all, their story and their dream. I will leave you with an excerpt from a letter by one ghost dancer as an example of the depth of each person's human drama. This letter tells one of the stories of what happened one day in Montana when we set our intentions to dream a new global vision and we reawakened the ghost dance. Oh.